Yeah. I got melanin. Oh yeah. I got melanin. You bet. We got melanin. Melanin.
Hi guys, it's Yasmin. How is everyone doing today? I'm sitting here in my car doing another video, and honestly, I'm in such a funky ass mood. You know, I'm on my lunch break from work, so I was like, you know what, let me do another video. I want to give a shout out to Micah Sade. I want to make sure that I'm saying it right. You left some questions under my video, and I really just kind of want to respond to it and answer some of your questions. Again, my name is Yasmin, and I'm a black MB, or a black non-binary person, or non-binary person of color. And you know, I like to make a lot of videos about my gender identity because honestly, I'm still exploring my gender identity. And I had to tell like my best friend the other day that my gender identity is very complex. Gender is very complex. And I'm still in an evolving process of identifying my identity. You know, I'm 34 years old and I'm still wrestling with what is my gender. But you know what? I feel okay about it because I'm coming to a resolution and I'm creating the life that I really want. So, to get back to the questions, how did I realize that I was non binary? So, first, I would probably have to say when I turned 30 and I got a psychological internship at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And part of my doctoral more like my doctoral psychology internship program, was to choose a topic, and I chose the topic of the LGBT community. So I was going to several of the LGBTQ, I guess, extracurricular programs on campus, and there I started to hear certain terms about gender identity, terms about genderqueer and non-binary, and identifying as something other as male, female, or a stereotypical binary trans woman. So it was a very slow process. I guess the first hint to me is that I've always liked to change my name and be called girl names. Honestly, I went through like 16 different names. I was called Skylar in college, my undergraduate years. I've also been called Courtney. I've also been called Miss J. I mean, I've had so many girl names. And one day I sat down and I was like, why do I really always like changing my name? Why do I really want to be called a girl? And it hit me that, like, oh my God, this is a symptom of gender dysphoria. Also, for a little background, I am a clinical psychologist, and I was in the midst of my clinical psychology training program. So I was like, oh my God. And then another thing is, I had to sit down and realize, why do not a lot of my relationships not really work? And why I seem to be always cantankerous with gay men is that I realized that when I'm with gay men, I really love to be treated like a girl. Like, when I tell you I love it, like, I love it. It's like the cat's meow. It's the cat's meow to me. I mother effing love it. And then, you know, I was like, you know what? I like being treated as a girl. I always wanted a girl name. I like being called pretty. I like my feminine attributes highlighted. I like to take on the role of a woman in a relationship. I saw the pattern that I kept dating very aggressive guys who treated me like that. And so, partly day by day and partly as an epiphany, I was like, oh my God, my gender is not totally male. So, guys, I went through a whole process of identifying other genders. My very first gender identity I said was, well, I'm bi gender, because part of me feels like a boy and part of me feels like a girl. So I'm bi gender. And after several months of identifying as bigender, I called all my friends up. I was like, everybody, guess what? I'm bigender now. You can call me bigender. You need to respect my gender identity. I'm bigender. And my friends were like, what? Okay. And then after several months of identifying as bigender, I jumped on the genderqueer bandwagon. I'm genderqueer. I'm genderqueer. Oh my God. I'm not a man. I'm not a woman. I'm genderqueer, my genderqueerness. And with more work and more time, I've realized that I had, and I still have, such a fear of being so overtly feminine that I'll be stigmatized and rejected, which I probably will be, especially by the gay community. And also that I have my own internalized transphobia to deal with. Being feminine, even though I like it and I love it and that's who I desire to be, part of me still at that time had aspects of, oh my God, this is ugly. So I never wanted to identify myself on the trans feminine aspects. I was just like, I'm genderqueer. So after maybe like almost a year of dealing with that and identifying as genderqueer, oh my God, it's so hot in this car. I was like, you know what? I'm non-binary. Because I was looking up the differences between genderqueer and non-binary, and I was coming to see that they're the same, but they're different. And I heard an excellent definition one day when somebody said, genderqueer is really just the queering of gender. And I realized, again, day by day, that my gender is a little bit more binary than that. It definitely leans on the feminine spectrum. It's definitely trans feminine. Very trans feminine. So after about a year, pulling into the end of 2017, mind you, all this started, I'm 34, so about 4 years ago in 2013, 2014, my gender exploration. Probably in 2017, you know what, I realized, I'm non-binary. And I'm a non-binary femme. And I like the word non-binary because over genderqueer, because I think, again, genderqueer is the queering of gender, and I think my gender is more binary and less queer. So non-binary really means to me that, it's a definitive leaning on one more side of the gender spectrum of between the dichotomy of male and female, or man and woman. And for me, my identity leans on that side. So I like the term non-binary femme. But also, I still identify with multiple terms. I told my best friend the other day is that I was even considering transitioning to a binary trans woman or a non-binary trans feminine person who is very feminine in appearance, borderline binary trans woman. And I was like, my full gender is genderqueer, non-binary femme, trans feminine, feminine of center, demigirl. I've realized, I'm really almost mostly a girl in a boy's body. And it's taken me so long and so much to really reach that. To even vocalize that almost wants me to bring tears to my eyes. That's what I am. And I'm still learning every day to be okay with it and to identify that. It is so scary because I just have this huge fears of being rejected by society. Fuck everybody else, but just overall society and men. But I keep telling myself, you know what, Yasmin, there's always a boy out there for you. Men will sleep with anything. And fuck what other people think. You can still be seen how you want to see. So it's a lot of cognitive reframing I do in my mind. It's a struggle at times, but it's an ongoing moving forward. But yeah, that's where we are. I talked to my therapist and I decided to get on HRT because I really want to be feminized. I keep having this fear like, oh my God, I want to be super feminine, but I don't want breasts. And I have to realize that maybe that's not necessarily an option. When I start HRT to feminize myself even more, I'll be that one person who ends up with gigantically big breasts, even though a lot of trans women complain that they have small breasts from HRT. What else? what the other questions I'm trying to remember? I can't really remember right now. What else do I really want to talk about? So yes, that's how I came to identify as genderqueer and non-binary. I really like the name MB because I think it's so cool. I think it's about representation and it's a short form to say non-binary because non-binary sounds honestly so technical. The average person or cis person is like, what? Huh? Who? Non-binary? So I cannot honestly remember the other questions, Micah Sade, but I really appreciate you asking and I will recover it in the next video. The words of advice that I would give to other people is that don't try to figure out your gender all at once. I know to me, it's taking a lifetime and it's really taking these last 4 years to really dive deep into it. But I'm loving myself every day. Um, I've been trying to orient my gender expression to more feminine. As you see, something very pink. Um, these earrings are blinging, honey. Blinging. So I decided in December I'm gonna wear me some hair. You know, it's about moving slowly, and I keep praying for comfort from God and more help. That is if you're spiritual, but I have a close relationship with God. I'm also going to switch therapists because I really want a trans-oriented therapist. I myself want to become a trans-oriented therapist. So I'm still going. I had to tell my best friend the other day as well that gender is it's not always static. It can be fluid or you can take a long time to figure it out because he was like, transition? Why would you transition? You're non-binary. And I was like, well, I'm still figuring it out. I mean, shit, I'm not done. But this video is long. I gotta go back to work. Please subscribe to my channel. And please also rate, comment, subscribe. Please send me some other questions that you want to know. I'm gonna try to do a video a week or at least once every 2 weeks. Talk about all aspects of non-binary identity, non-binary life, LGBTQ issues. I've really wanted to do YouTube a long time, and now I feel like I'm really finally getting into it. So thank you guys. Please shout out to me, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh!